Hey everybody, I'm Tom Vasel. Welcome to another shelf in the Dice Tower library. Today we're taking a look at the heaviest shelf in our library. And I don't mean that by the weight of the games, how hard they are to play, although that's also very close to true, but just the games here are so heavy, this shelf weighs probably 600 pounds. But let's take a look here. I do have a lot of heavy games in this shelf on rack 7. And on the top here, I thought it'd be funny to throw in my own game. Nothing Personal is a game I designed there on the end about Mafia. It's silly fun. Me and Steve Avery designed that. I just thought it'd be fun to put it with all these heavy European style games. Next to that, we got some new hotness, Shackleton Base and Galileo Galilei. Both of them fairly new, and a lot of people are going to be jumping on them. But don't miss out on Gugong from Game Brewer, a good game about trading things back and forth. Back to new hotness, we have Civolution there, and I expect to see this one getting played a lot as the days go by, and as we have Dice Tower East coming up, I'm sure many people are going to play that one. But then there's just a bunch of kind of various different games in here. Saltfjord, Rasafa, that's one of the delicious games from Vladimir Suchy. Bardwood Grove, which is one of the more complicated deck building style games I've ever played. Coloma, which is maybe the best game Final Frontier did, in my opinion. Dominations, which is a pretty hefty civilization-style game, but I enjoy it. Amalfi Renaissance. Now, here's one of the hidden gems. If you don't know what game to play, come find this one, where your ships go out and collect resources, but they also are your resources. Then we have Clinic, and then we have two of the lighter games from Lacerda, Bot Factory and House of Fado. So this top shelf has a lot of solid games, but not a lot of games that are known name-wise, but, well, other than, I was going to say they're all really solid games. Maybe not Nothing Personal. Then we drop down here to the next shelf, and we see some pretty big games again. We'll start on the side here, Black Angel, which is a pretty neat game where there's a ship flying, and you're kind of moving around it as it moves through Euro style. Chimera Station, if you want to play a worker placement game where the workers can be modified to do different things. High Rise, which is just being reprinted now from all play games. High Rise is a game about building just gigantic skyscrapers. Pretty solid stuff. Then while we have our Ticket to Rides at another shelf, here's the two big ones. The 10th anniversary of Ticket to Ride and the 15th anniversary of Ticket to Ride Europe. So if you want to play with really nice pieces, there you go. Empire's Age of Discovery, one of the original worker placement games. Definitely worth your time to play this one. A really solid game. Wallenstein and Shogun, almost the same game with different maps from Queen, using a cube tower. And then right underneath them, the other cube tower game from Queen, Amerigo. All right, let's move down to this next shelf here. We got some pretty hefty games. La Famiglia, one of the few games that must have 4 players. Age of Innovation, which is the new version of Terra Mystica, Kutna Hora from CGE, and Ceres, a game that did not get a lot of love, but is a very solid space worker placement game. Jet Set next to it is a game that looks like Ticket to Ride, but if you want sort of an upgraded Ticket to Ride, that's what I would recommend. Coffee Traders, another hefty game, Euro-style game. Detective City of Angels, you hear Z talk about this one a lot. This one's mostly here because of its box size, as is the new Fireball Island, the Curse of Volcan. If you like the old Fireball Island, this takes it and makes it much better. Then Glenmore 2, which has so much content and you'll never be able to play through all of it in a single setting. The Colt Express Big Box, and Nations. Nations is a game that does not get as much love these days. It's pretty lengthy, but it is a civilization game that is lighter than many of them. All right, let's move on down to the next shelf here. We have Bootleggers, classic game. This is one of my classic games in here, in which you are making some moonshine and trying not to get caught by the cops. Raising Robots from Nauvoo game. If you like Wingspan, you'll probably like this. Sweet Mess is a game that not a lot of people talk about or has some really great components. I enjoyed this one much. Anunnaki, another solid game. There's a lot of games here I really enjoy on this shelf. Anunnaki has such a cool worker placement thing. I enjoy it. And Path of Civilization, one of my favorite games to come out in the past few years. Terraforming Mars, as you can see, the box is put together incorrectly just to mess with your mind. But This is everything for Terraforming Mars in, so has all the expansions. I don't normally do that with the different games, but Terraforming Mars is one I know people might want them. Steam Up, unfortunately, I think it's kind of a dud of a game, but it has really nice components, and I know people might enjoy it, so it's here. Dwarf Romantic, another game I don't love, but I can see why people might want it. Next to that, the Starfarers of Catan. From big, chunky toy ship starships, this is Catan taken to a whole new level. Wild Tiled West, I just saw some people playing this recently at a con. This is a good polyomino style game. And then Biohack, this is from the same folks who made Amalfi, up above, or at least in the same kind of design group. A game about making unholy creations. Definitely worth checking out. And the reason my shelf is so heavy is this bottom shelf here. The Lacerdas, or the Lacerdas and the things that are like Lacerdas, because they're not all Lacerdas, although almost all of them are. Rococo is not a Lacerda, and it's not even that heavy, but it's in the same box size. But then we have Inventions, Kanban, Lisboa, On Mars, The Gallerist, Escape Plan, Weather Machine. Those are all Lacerda games. And I assume, if you like one, you'll probably like others, although I've heard various opinions. Obviously, Lisboa has gotten the most critical acclaim of those, but On Mars does pretty well. Lots of people like Kanban and The Gallerist, and then less Inventions and so on. Escape Plan's my favorite of that bunch. Then Pampero, which looks like a Lacerda game, which is why it's there, and Galactic Cruise, which looks like a Lacerda game. And then old Lacerda games that are not in those nice new boxes, Vinhos and CO2. So, again, this adds, because these games are so big and they're in their long ways, they're very heavy in weight, but they're also heavy in weight because they're Lacerda games. If I'm picking my favorite game from each shelf, the bottom one would be Escape Plan, as I just said. This shelf above it is tricky. I think I'm going to say Path of Civilization. Terraforming Mars is great, of course, and Anunnaki is great, but Path of Civilization is one I enjoy a lot. Then moving on to the shelf above that, I think I'm going to say Jet Set. It's definitely not the best looker here, but it is a solid game, although I do like Glenmore too, but I'll say Jet Set. Shelf 2, man, I love Wallenstein, I love High Rise, I love Chimera Station, and I love Ticket to Rides. I'll go with Empire's Age of Discovery. A great worker placement game. And then the top shelf, I can't, and even if I could, wouldn't pick my own game. I think Amalfi, Renaissance there. What a solid game. Oh, Civolution. Yeah. Civolution. Oh, it was close. All right. Anyway, those are my favorite games from Shelf 7. What are your favorites? Let me know in the comments. I'm Tom Vasel, and we'll see you as we continue to go through the Dice Tower Library. Hey folks, thanks for watching another one of our videos. If you like our videos, if you like our channel, you would love to game with us at one of our conventions. Check out Dice Tower Cruise, Dice Tower East, and Dice Tower West. Fantastic conventions where we play games with wonderful people, a humongous library, and lots of other events and stuff. Also, don't forget to check out our channel, like and subscribe. I'm Tom Vasel.